Hey everyone, it's Dylan and Charlie from the Black Forest Wood Company. This week we're going to be building a Clara Walnut Burl dining table with a brand new base design that we've never done before, and in my opinion it's one of the nicest bases we've ever done. So now for the glue up of this table base, we actually have to do a large stack lamination here. So we're still using our Type Bond 3 glue. That's what we like to use for everything for the best strength in the lamination. And we've got our pieces of 12-quarter ash that have been cut to size and milled. And we've actually drilled our dowel holes in there, as you can see. So we're gluing every surface of each piece of ash, and then we're actually going to be sliding our dowel through to ensure that we have perfect alignment on all these. So you can see on the far right there actually is the dowel, and the other side too. So that's what's allowing all of our pieces to line up. And there's sort of like a little groove in the top of this where we have one of our cross members that needs to fit in. So instead of cutting that after out of this whole blank, we're just gluing it up to the perfect size right now. And then when this is all dry and out of the clamps, we just have some light sanding to do to clean everything up. After we finished all the gluing, assembly, and sanding of the base, it's time to move on to the finishing. This client actually selected a blackened ash stain, which is something that's very popular for us. And for this piece, we're actually using an alcohol-based stain just because we find it's a little bit easier to apply and put on. And then you also don't have to wait quite as long for the stain to cure before putting on your oil-based top coat. Previously in the past, we've been using water-based stains, and they work good, they look really nice, but then you have to wait a little bit longer for all that water to evaporate out before you apply your oil-based top coat. So that's what Curtis is doing here. He's just using a foam brush to go over everything, and then we leave it for about a day, and then we can apply our clear coat to the piece. this piece, we're of course going to be using our Black Forest Finishes furniture oil and our Black Forest ceramics. So first of all, we like to start off with the Black Forest furniture oil. So we sand the piece to 320 grit. We then apply one really thin coat of the furniture oil. Typically, we like to allow that to cure for at least 24 hours before you apply the next coat. I wouldn't wait any less than that, but you can absolutely wait any amount longer than that. It's not going to hurt the piece, even if you ended up waiting a couple weeks. So then we'll follow up with our second coat of the furniture oil, and sometimes we will do a gray pad in between our coats. Just if there's any imperfections, using that gray pad will knock those down and allow us to get just a lot more perfect finish out of it. So we go ahead, we apply that second coat the same way, again being very careful to make sure that we're only using a very small amount of product. After we've waited 4 to 7 days for the furniture oil to cure, we can come back and apply the ceramics. So typically, we like to do 2 base coats followed by a top coat or 2 top coats. That's just our preference. It is what we recommend, but you can't go wrong really with any combination. If you did 1 base coat, 2 top coats, it's not going to hurt anything either. So the ceramics are very forgiving in that way. And another thing I will mention is that our ceramic is fully compatible with the graphene as well. So if you have either of those products, they definitely work together. After all the finishing is complete, we can flip the top over and start assembling the base. So for all of our tables, pretty much, we like to use laser cut steel plates to attach our bases. Typically, we make them about 6 mil thick, and then we do a 6 mil recess into the bottom of the table where that plate's going to be. This way, when you're actually looking underneath the table, everything's flush and there's no plate sticking out. Another thing you will notice too, we have slotted laser cut holes going across the width of the table. This is just to account for any expansion or contraction that may happen on the piece. With resin, it's less likely to happen, obviously, because there's not as much of one big solid piece of wood. But by having those slotted holes, if that top does want to expand or contract, it has the freedom to move back and forth.
A bit there.
Jack, needs to go your way a little bit.
Too far, a little
way.
towards me, my feet.
Too much.
Keep coming down.
Okay, well here we are. We've got the table all finished up, ready to go out to our client. Again, just to go over what we used, we've got our Claro Walnut Burl here. This was all cut by us and dried by us. Well, actually cut by Jerry, but here at our shop. Then we've used our Black Forest Deep Resin with a solid black base layer and a clear layer over top. Then we sanded everything to 320 with our Mirka sander and Mirka papers and applied our Black Forest furniture oil with our ceramic top coat over top. So all in all, this thing turned out awesome. Again, the feature that I like on this, because not that the Claro Walnut's not nice, but we've done that before, but this is really exciting for us, is this new cantilever style of base. All designed by us here in-house. It's made out of solid blackened ash and it's got brass inlays, and it's actually super sturdy. It does a really good job supporting the table. So let us know what you guys think of this new design. Let us know if you like it, and we'll see you in next week's video.